I cannot wait to show you guys these eggs. Now, we bred a few ball pythons at the start of the year, and we have currently got Gloria, who is our biggest ball python at 5.5 feet long. Absolutely crazy. We've got her sitting on some eggs. I've literally just came in, and it looked like, I don't know if you guys can see here, it just looks like there's no hide there. So I was like, there is a hide there, but I thought she moved it or flipped it or whatever. I think that's her there. I love this. This is so exciting. I cannot wait to get in and see how many we've got, if they're all healthy, and most of all if Gloria's healthy. She was a big girth literally a few days ago, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how many eggs she has. So we're gonna have a look under his hide now. Okay, so oh my god, guys, wow. Look at that. I knew she was full of eggs, but that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 eggs, are you absolutely crazy? That is huge. That's a huge clutch right there, and they're not too small, and they all look absolutely healthy. She has done very well. So thank you so much, Gloria. That's absolutely crazy. Now what we've got to do is we've got to wash Gloria off. We've got to take her into the bath. We've got to completely empty out this whole enclosure. And we've got to clean everything down and make sure there's no scent of eggs anywhere. If you don't do that, basically the females will just think their eggs are there and they'll stay coiled up for literal months. There are some people that do it, just maternal incubate. That's up to them. We just prefer doing it this way just because it's more safer for all the snakes. I can't believe there's 13 eggs. That is crazy. Like, I am shocked. The biggest we've ever had is 6. But they were big eggs. We've got double that, plus 1. And a scene off Jurassic Park where he finds the raptor eggs. Billy finds the raptor eggs and he steals them, puts them in his bag. We've got to basically put all of these into this vermiculite, which I've already done. I wonder if I can still rip them off. I don't really know. Okay, I'm going to be here a long time doing this, so I'm just going to skip past this. So I've decided to not take them apart. I've just put them in there in the end. I had to get rid of that one for these to fit in. But they're going to go in the incubator now. I cannot believe it. 13 absolute crazy eggs. That is, I can't believe how healthy they all are. Gloria is doing fantastic as well. Let's go and get her bathed up. Let's go and get her all cleaned up. I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about something that is rather strange, but it's been in the news a lot lately. What I did wasn't in the news. That's snakes. Snakes being found out in the wild is absolutely crazy right now. And obviously, if you know the UK, we don't have many snakes. I mean, the most common ones are adders and grass snakes in the UK. There was a place in the UK that found 3 Burmese pythons, I think it was. Absolutely crazy. But basically, that is what happened to us. We basically travelled all the way down to Portsmouth, met down at port, and he brought a gecko from me, and he loved the gecko, and he brought a hognose as well. They are doing absolutely fantastic. On the way back up, someone put, there is a snake spotted in the road. Now, obviously, on Facebook, everyone's going wild because there's a snake outside, and this isn't a thing that happens in the UK. And you got to remember, most people in the UK have not seen a snake in the wild in their entire lifetime, okay? My friend gives us a ring, says, look, there's a snake. They found it in the road. It slivered off. We need to go and find it. We can rescue it. We was literally just driving past my house. It would have been 6 hours driving altogether. Tired, worn out. We drove straight to the place, picked up my friend. We met a lovely couple there. They said they seen the snake. We seen the photo of it because they took a photo of it, and it was a royal python. Now, the reason why I say royal python like royal python is because that's probably the most dumped snake recently. So at this point, we've said to everyone, look, the snake isn't dangerous by any means. It's safe, it won't hurt you. Most likely, it's just going to curl up. So me and my friend Richard, we're going through the bush, we're on our hands and knees, we're literally digging through this whole bush road trying to find this snake. And I looked under this little root of the hedge bush, and there it was, curled up in the actual roots of the tree. I pushed it round one side, then my mate Richard was on the other side of the hedge. He managed to grab it out. Ended up getting loads of thorns in us and scratched up and everything, but we didn't care because we just rescued this snake. Now, this snake is with me today. It's finished out of quarantine now. It's been out of quarantine for a while, but we're going to talk about why this snake was dumped and how we can prevent this. This is Fawn, the royal python that we found out in the thorn bush. That's why we call him Fawn now, because that's his name. That's why we found him. Now, have you noticed something about Fawn? If you have, let me know if you did notice something about him. Tell me, what is it about Fawn that makes Fawn very unlikable. I'm going to give you some seconds. He's a spider. He's a spider morph. Now, spider morphs are very well known for neurological conditions. Not all spider morphs are as bad as each other's. Like, you can get one spider ball python that can't even eat or navigate, and you can get Fawn who can pretty much live pretty well. Now, nowhere in the UK really sells spiders anymore, but that being said, they are very pretty, and I've never ever brought one myself because I've stayed away from it. But at the same time, I've always wanted one. I'm just grateful that I got to experience one in my lifetime. In fact, I saved it. So if you don't know what I'm on about, obviously it's not an actual spider. It's just the pattern of the snake. It's the morph of the snake. He's a healthy boy, to be honest with you. He has a slight head thing going on. Sometimes when he eats, he looks a bit weird. But except for that, he's absolutely fine. So, like, I'm glad we rescued him. I'm glad he's safe. He's staying with us now. I'm not going to rehome him or anything. He is definitely going to be ours. This guy was definitely most likely dumped because no one wants to buy them. No one wants them. And the only people that do end up getting them are people that are uneducated in ball python morphs, which makes it even more of an issue because then when they get their snake, it has head wobble. They don't know how to handle that issue. And I know in some countries, spider morph is still a well-accepted morph and people love working with it because it does add some absolute crazy patterns into the mix. But at the same time, here in the UK, we just don't allow it. No one likes it. And in most breeding groups and shows, reptile shows around the UK, the spider morph has actually been banned. You're not allowed to sell it. You're not allowed to bring it. No one wants to see it. So that's not to say that you shouldn't provide a home for a spider ball python because they're absolutely amazing and great, great pets. And it doesn't matter what morph they are because if you're rescuing it at the end of the day or finding it a new home, giving it a new home, you're doing more for the snake than the snake could ever ask of you. Just offer the snakes like Fawn here at a home where they can stay and feel safe and have a long life and not have to be let outside. I mean, the fact that this guy was alive, because although it was still summer, the temperatures were still dropping too cold on the night for ball python. And you got to remember, this guy is in the UK, like we're in the UK. I'm surprised this guy survived. It's a miracle he did. And it's just so lucky that we found him in that edge. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about him for a second because I think it's important for us as reptile lovers, keepers, and breeders to push out the information of how to care for these animals and what they actually need. A lot of people don't understand what the animal requires and they don't learn about the animal and what it needs. You need to know how big the reptile's going to get, okay? I've seen it at the IHS and I see it all the time. There's people going around and they're buying boa constrictors and they're buying anacondas and stuff like that. Always do the research. Research is so, so important. Everyone's switched over to these like shorts and these videos where it doesn't even cover really the basics of caring for an animal. Fawn literally was in the right place at the right time. And he managed to come to the retreat now and he's going to live his life out here. That's another reason animals are getting dumped because everyone jumps on the new morphs or the new patterns, overbreeds them. 2 years later, it used to be worth 1,000, now it's worth 100. It's costing him more to look after them. Let them go. Like, people are actually evil when it comes to reptiles and money. But I'm so happy we have Fawn. He is an amazing snake. I'll update you guys along the way with him, show you how he's doing. Fawn gets to keep his life, and he gets to keep living on for the rest of his life. For how many years God gives him on this earth, he gets to live them out. When we was looking through after, obviously the post had been up for like a day or two and we went back and looked back. And then you've got other people saying, oh, I'll take it in, I've got a spare viv and all this other stuff. And maybe then people did have the knowledge to take care of it. But in most cases, they wouldn't have. Knowing the people around here and the place I come from, it is what it is. I just can't say anything else against that. But Fawn is home and he is safe. And that is all that matters. Remember, reptiles are for literally a quarter of your life, pretty much. So please, 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 do not rush into getting them. Although you might look at them and think, you know what, I want one of them. I do that as well, but I do it to stuff like bears. And obviously I can't keep a bear. What I'm trying to say is, like, you know when you see an animal, you're like, that is so cool, I want that. But I know right now that I couldn't keep a bear in my house. That could be the same with you to a gecko, you know? Although you love the gecko that much, maybe you're just so busy with school, work. Just think of the future and think of the animal. That's all I'm trying to say. You guys are absolutely amazing. Remember, have a great, great day. No matter what happens, you are awesome. You got to keep going. And reptiles rule. Reptiles rule. And don't forget, if you're an experienced keeper, you know what you're doing, and there's ever an animal that's looking for a home, go and get it. Because they need them, okay? They need the homes. I can't tell you enough how many of my ball pythons are actually rescues. I'd probably say 80% of them are. Do not give up on them. Do not give up on yourself. You are absolutely amazing. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.